Hey, 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 you're waking up with Craig. Good morning on Friday, November 16th. Thank you for everybody tuning in. We got a lot to get to today. Drew Tyner is going to join us to talk about some golf, Red Sox, and Bo is back to break down the weekend. They will be joining us shortly. Let's start with our morning quote. Finding good players is easy. Getting them to play as a team is another story. Casey Stengel said that. Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, Michigan, all these great schools, they get these players to come who are great. The difference between some of those and the ones who win national championships are the Coach K's. They get you to compete as a team, as a unit, and to put the name on the front ahead of the name on the back. That's what makes great teams great. Now, joining me is longtime Giants fan Drew Tyner. Tyner, nice to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Siege.
All right, now we got to get straight to the point. Is the Giants' issue the coaching, or is it bigger than that? What do you think?
I can't say it's not coaching. But when you have a quarterback, and I love Eli, and I still believe in Eli, but when you have someone that cannot move, not even move inside the pocket, I don't mean scramble outside, he can barely move inside the pocket, your play calling is restricted. We have playmakers like Odell, Shep, and Saquon Barkley. But how limited are they? They're very limited. So it's not coaching yet. The problem is the line. The O-line is not good. Eli would need like a top 5 line to be a great quarterback like he once was. And that's hard to fix. So I think the solution, going out, getting a quarterback like that young kid at Oregon. What's his name?
Hebert, whatever his name is.
He's going to be a stud.
Now, I think Eli's time is done, and I think it is time to move on. But I don't think this is a Shermer problem. I don't think this is an Eli problem.
Don't you dare say it.
This is a leadership problem that started when Odell and Lil Wayne had their little conversation, firing shots. Now, you think Odell is doing a good job as a leader.
No, but I don't think he's gotten to the point in his career that he needs to be the head leader of this team.
Well, he's got more concussions from kicking nets than he does from actually playing the game. Ever since he went on that boat ride, the team hasn't been the same. They need someone to step up.
You blame Odell?
Odell is their best player. He needs to step up and be a leader. There's no leadership on this team right now.
He needs to, and it'll come. It's been much better this year. He hates losing. He hates to lose. And he's throwing tantrums, yes, on the sideline. And does it look good? No. Is it good for the team? Probably not. Does it matter because we're 2-7? And do I think that's the difference between us being the NFC East champions? No, it's much deeper than that. And Odell will grow. Odell is fine. Odell will be a leader, and he will lead more by example.
Now, I agree with you. It's not all Odell's fault, but I think it starts there. I think Odell can turn this team around and be a leader. Now, yes, he needs a quarterback. He needs someone new to come in and start rebuilding, not necessarily the team, but the parts you have, and work with it. Now, Tyner, I know you're a big golf guy.
Huge.
So, this game is about individual talent. I don't know if it's ever been more talented of a group of men playing golf. But there's a huge showdown coming up. Tiger versus Phil. You know I love my boy Tiger Woods. Who wins that Shadow Street showdown?
The short answer is Tiger. But the course that they're playing at, the rough isn't that thick, and Phil is going to be able to keep it together. People might think this is going to be a blowout, 3 or 4 shots, ends 3 or 4 holes early. I don't think so. I think it goes 17 or maybe even the distance. But Tiger's going to hold on to a 1 or 2 stroke win.
All right. Now, if we're going to talk about wins, we got to talk about your boy Ricky Fowler, because he has not won a major yet.
No, he has not.
Is the time coming?
This year, the time is coming.
You think so?
I'd put a lot of money on it. He's been so close. He has second place finishes in 3 of the 4 majors and third place in the other one. He shot 14 under at Augusta, the hardest course I've ever seen. That should win. That 90% of the time, that will win the Masters.
Well, you know who doesn't have a lot of second places? My man, Tiger Woods. He's number one.
Can I tell you
And
something?
this year, Tiger Woods, he's going to win 3 more majors before Ricky wins his first one.
God, that is the hottest take I've heard today. And I live with Bo Norcross, so...
And he'll be
I hear
joining
hot
us later,
takes.
so who knows what's going to come then.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for all that. But Phil Mickelson, a great golfer. No doubt about that.
Great
You agree?
golfer. Great golfer.
He didn't win his first major until he was 34. 13 years into his PGA Tour career. Ricky's 29. His time is coming. He's a top 10 talent. He's a top 10 golfer in the world. There's no doubt about that. And once one comes, once he gets past that little mental problem he has, they're gonna snowball. They're gonna keep rolling. One major is gonna turn into 2, is gonna turn into 5.
So you're saying the first title for Ricky is coming this year?
Oh yeah, I absolutely believe he'll win the Masters this year, and maybe even a second major this year. This year alone.
All right, we're quoting you on that. Now, if we're going to talk about number 1 and best players, we got to talk about Mookie Betts winning the MVP. Does he deserve it?
He absolutely deserves it. Would he have been my choice for MVP? No. Do I understand why he was the MVP? Yes. Mookie has vastly improved. He was great last year. He was. The Red Sox were a good team last year. Obviously, we didn't have the finish we want, and we sent Farrell flying, and we got Alex Cora, #MyManager. But the difference this year was having a backbone like J.D. Martinez. But the MVP, as you know, and I heard your show yesterday, or maybe the day before, most valuable doesn't always get put into perspective. Sometimes the best stats does not mean you are the most valuable to your team. Did Mookie have a better season overall? Yes. But he had JD as his backbone. So I would have given him the most valuable player. I would have named Mookie Player of the Year if there was such a...
We're going to look to the other side. And there's a lot of rumors, strong ones, that Manny Machado is going to the Yankees. And you know that rivalry is already going to be more fueled because of that. Do you think he makes them better than us?
Well, first I know that you hate Manny Machado.
I hate Manny Machado. Nobody I hate more than Manny Machado.
Do I think Manny Machado makes the Yankees better than us? No, absolutely not. Look at Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton compared to Jumbo Dom. JD hit 330 roughly this year. Adding Machado is just adding a lazy 275 hitter. Yeah, he'll hit his home runs, and he'll have some big moments, and he's silky smooth at shortstop. You better believe that. I'm not doubting that at all. But you add these players come playoff time, I tell you what, we won't lose 16-1.
Now, there's one other rumor that's been talked about. If we don't sign Evaldi, the Yankees said they will, and that is their pitcher they want the most. Does he and Machado make a difference? Because Evaldi is tough.
It clearly makes them better. I mean, you add players like that, you're going to
It
get
closes
better.
the gap.
It makes it much more competitive. Eovaldi's a Yankee killer, so I think the Red Sox will do what they can to make sure they sign him back. And he, that performance against Houston that he got the loss for, that's a win in my book. It's not a win in the stats, but he's definitely worth going to get, and I don't want to see him go to the Yankees. That could be a struggle for the Sox.
Well, we'll see what happens next October, and hopefully we're still playing in the World Series. Now, it is time to get into the games of the weekend. But before we do that, there was a game last night. The Green Bay Packers suffered a tough loss to the Seattle Seahawks. And joining me and Tiny now is Bo Norcross again. Bo, thanks for coming. And I know this must have been a tough time for you to wake up this morning. What happened last night?
It was a frustrating game. I mean, a game we should have won. I feel like we were in control the whole game, like for the most part. I mean, Seattle's a good football team. They came and battled. Russell Wilson kept them in it all game, like he does. You know, he did what he does. But I really have to say that Mike McCarthy needs to be fired. Needs to be. It like right now.
So now you don't even want to wait till the end of the season.
No, why would we wait? We're just wasting more of Aaron Rodgers' talent as we speak.
Tyner, is that what you think? You think this is a Mike McCarthy issue or more than that?
Oh, it's 99% a Mike McCarthy issue. The other 1% is probably Mike McCarthy too, to be honest.
Now, but what'd you think about the play he didn't challenge? Because I remember last year we watched that Minnesota Vikings game and a ball clearly hit the ground to Jarrett McKinnon and he didn't challenge. And this one seemed to cost him last night as well.
This one, in his defense, wasn't as clear, right? It wasn't as obvious. Like, Lockett rolled over the ball, and so maybe, physically he might not have seen that. The other thing that I take into account here, we had one timeout left. You challenge that play and you lose it, you have no timeouts left. So there is that part of it. But what frustrates me is not that he didn't challenge it. It's that the refs blew the call for one.
Yep.
Then he didn't challenge it because he only had one timeout, because he blew his other two timeouts.
Now, you only had one timeout, and I know you're upset about the 4th and 2. Talk to me about it. What do you think should happen there?
It's not even like that I don't trust the defense this year, because I think they've played better at times. Like, they've had very good spurts. It wasn't even that. It was the injury-plagued defense. Kenny Clark, the guy who was going into the game, was tied for the leading in sacks. He's a run stopper. Mike Daniels, a big guy. Both guys hurt on the last drive for the Seahawks. Both guys not going to be out there to stop the run. So your two biggest guys on your D-line aren't there. So you got to get a stop. You don't even have your D-line.
Now, Tyner, you're a big analytics guy. So the 4th and 2 at your own 25, you usually trust the defense. What do you think the Packers should have done there?
I think they made the right decision by punting with, I believe, 4 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Yeah, and one timeout.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that,
yeah.
And one timeout. They should have just had one time. I don't know what happened that they only had one timeout at the end of the half, but that's a whole nother problem. You expect that you can get with 4 minutes, you don't want to turn it over in your own territory. I think the punt was the right decision. I think the defense needs to get a stop. Not that you can just blame it on that, but
I
punting
agree.
was the right decision.
I agree with you, Tyner. 4th and 2. It was at the 33, by the way, not the 25. But still, you're not in great territory. But you gotta weigh your options too. Like, if you're going out there with a defense that really isn't your defense, is it worth taking the risk with a guy like Aaron Rodgers on 4th and 2? I think you have to consider that. I mean, if you have your healthy defense, it's an obvious punting situation. I agree. But without those two guys, I feel like we were depleted enough that it's I take my chances with Rodgers over that backup defense.
Now, that was a great game last night. Let's look ahead to the weekend. What games are you guys looking forward to? Tiny, is there a game you're really looking forward to?
I'm looking at that Vikings-Bears game.
That one's close to me. That's a big one.
I understand that. I think if the Vikings fall, I think it's the Bears division. Right then.
I think
I'm ready to call the Bears the NFC North.
I think if the Bears go to 7-3, I think it's gonna be really tough to catch them. I think we can still get a wild card, but I think you're right. The winner of this game really has the head hunch on the division.
Absolutely.
Bo, is there a game you're looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, the Saints and the Eagles. And let me tell you why. The Eagles, right, are in a must-win situation. Even though they still got 2 games against the Redskins, and they're 2 back. But you're 4-5. You lose this week, you're 4-6. And that's a tough game for them on the road in New Orleans, because let me tell you, those Saints are the best team in football right now. The best team.
All right. Kyle Hansen, a great listener, has given us another question. The Colts have won 3 straight. They have the Titans at home this weekend. They're 3rd in the AFC South. Do they keep it rolling against the Titans? And do they have a chance at this division, Tyner? What do you think?
They absolutely have a chance at this division. Their next 3 games are versus the Titans, versus the Dolphins, and then at Blake Bortles-led Jags.
And who knows what's going on down there in Jacksonville?
Hopefully not at that point is Blake Bortles the starter, but I'm assuming he's going to be. And then that 4th game coming up against the Texans.
Now,
that is a winner take the division game.
Bo, I know you're high on the Texans. Do you think that Texans are 6-3 right now? Do you think that the Colts can really pass them?
And talking about a hot team, right? Texans have won 6 in a row. 6 in a row. That's impressive. I mean, Deshaun Watson, that offense is trying to figure it out. I think the Colts, honestly, the AFC's weaker. Maybe the Colts will win enough games to be in a wild card position towards the end of the year. Not necessarily division winner. I think that's going to be tough. I think it will. I think 2 games behind a team that, like the Texans, who run the football well. They play good defense. Watson gives them big plays every once in a while, and I think that they'll play well enough down the stretch in division games to get there. I honestly don't even think the Titans will make the playoffs this year.
Now, Tyler, this is a home game against a division team. If they want to win the division, is this a must-win game?
Absolutely. You can't give away home division games. Division games are huge in general. You got to protect your home turf.
All right. Now, boys, is there a underdog you're really looking at this week? Is there a team that's not favored or odds are against them that you think could come out and win this week? I mean, do you think the Cowboys can beat the Falcons? Zeke and Dak are starting to turn it around?
I really wanted to talk about that game at least a little bit because it's win or go home for both teams.
You think so? Even Atlanta?
Couldn't
Even
agree
Atlanta.
more.
Atlanta would be
Couldn't agree
4-6 with a loss. And
Okay.
the Saints are going to win the division in a landslide.
Okay.
The Panthers, I don't see them falling behind the Falcons.
Yeah.
That leaves one spot for Hotlanta to get hot and find that final wild card spot.
Okay.
And if they're 4-6, they got to run the table at 10-6. 9-7 is not going to get you a wild card spot.
And you're talking about running the table. You know how hard that's going to be for them after that? They have the Saints twice. They have the Saints twice.
Saints twice, and I believe they have the Packers, don't they?
Yep, they do.
That's
so
a tough game.
I mean, 4-6
On the road.
They're in Green Bay. They're not a cold weather team. I mean, if you fall 4-6, count the Falcons out to me. The Cowboys might have a sliver of hope because that division is always
Now,
up
the
for
reason
grabs.
I don't think the Cowboys have a slither of hope,
Yeah,
they play the Saints the following week.
that's tough.
That
a
is
loss.
tough.
That's a loss.
They play the Eagles coming up. They already beat them once. I don't see them beating them twice.
But
and they play the Redskins. If they split their division games and they were to fall to Atlanta, and I really think it's not going to be close with the Saints, they have 7 losses.
Yeah, and that's tough. That is tough. I think if they're going to win the division and lose this game, they'd have to definitely really run the table or just win
Have
those
to beat
division
the Skins.
games. Yeah,
Because you let the Skins beat you.
You'd have to beat the Skins.
They're
You'd have to
going
beat
up.
the Eagles again, I think.
Yeah.
And that's tough too.
I just don't see it happening.
I think it is a must-win.
I'm
Probably
with
for
Stephen
both
A.
teams,
Smith
yeah.
on that one.
So we're talking about teams that are trying to get in. Let's talk about a team that is in it right now. The San Diego Chargers only have 2 losses.
Los Angeles Chargers.
Los Angeles, my bad. Los Angeles Chargers. And they have only lost to the LA Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs. Are the Chargers for real?
I hope so, but as a guy who's rooted for Phillip Rivers to beat Tom Brady for so long, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think the Chargers can get over that hump of beating the Patriots. It seems like I remember they had a 14-2 team way back with LaDainian Tomlinson, and that team was ridiculous.
Back in 06,
good.
yeah.
Oh my God, it was unreal, and they still couldn't do it.
Tyler, what do you think?
I think they can do it. I think, especially if they can run the table, a home playoff game, you don't want to go into New England in the playoffs. You don't want to do it. You're asking to lose. And the Chiefs might have home field advantage throughout. But if the Chargers can find a way to host the Pats, they've got the defense that has improved. They have Melvin Gordon. They have Keenan Allen healthy for now. And I mean for now. You never know. And Phillip Rivers is balling. You said it yourself. They've lost to the 2 best teams record-wise now.
Now you're saying you want to host a playoff game to the Pats.
Yes.
And the only way to do that is they got to win the division. And sitting at the very top is the Chiefs at 9-1. Now, they're only, a game back. The Chiefs lose to the Rams, and they have 2 losses, and they're right there. Do you think the Los Angeles Chargers can do it?
That's why I said they got to run the table if they want to have a chance
So
here.
you don't even think they can have one more loss?
No, because they wouldn't win the division.
Okay.
So you're saying the Chiefs only have 2 losses on the year?
I'm saying they will have to beat the Chiefs to run the table.
Okay.
And they will pass the Chiefs. The division record will be at least 5-1.
So you think both those teams though could be right around 13-3?
Absolutely.
Wow. I wouldn't be surprised the way San Diego's been playing. They find a way to disappoint me every year.
They do.
Every year. And even a team like the Steelers seems like they struggle getting over that hump of beating the Patriots. I'm pulling for the Chiefs this year. I think Mahomes is a baller. I think that team is legit and that they have probably the best chance to beat New England, even in New England.
Alrighty. After talking about the teams that are playing this weekend, let's talk about the players who will be playing for those teams. Tyner, is there a guy you like in fantasy this week that's really going to either ball out or surprise some of us?
Well, it shouldn't be surprising that my boy OBJ is going to ball out this weekend.
I mean, hopefully the kicking net isn't guarding him.
Oh, that's funny. That's real funny. How did Blair Walsh do in the playoffs?
All right, that's all right.
That's
right.
what I thought.
Get to your
Anyway,
point.
Odell Beckham Jr. To me, the GOAT. But that's a little biased opinion.
A little?
Oh, yeah. I'd take him over Julio Jones.
Oh, my God.
I'd take him over Antonio Brown. And this week, I'm taking him as my number 1 wide receiver of the week. Tampa Bay likes to sling it around. There's no surprise about that. So my man, I believe in Eli, is also going to sling it around this week.
You're telling me. You're taking OBJ with Eli, who can't throw it more than 20 yards, over a Matt Ryan hooked up with Julio Jones.
Can't throw him more than
Are
20
you
yards.
kidding me?
That
You
is
must be joking.
ridiculous.
You must be joking.
Your quarterback is a knockoff Case Keenum.
Oh,
I don't
man.
want to talk
I
about
take
that
Adam
quarterback.
Thielen before I'll take OBJ this year.
Oh, my God.
Adam Thielen's balling out.
Take Devontae Adams for it.
Oh, my God.
That's
You
what I'm
ain't
talking
no
about,
go too
baby.
much.
That's my man right
Oh,
there.
my.
Let's
But
go.
yeah, these Giants, they're
Let's
gonna
go.
mix
Odell's
them
not
up.
even a top 5 receiver this year.
No.
Hey, why are you getting all fired
Yeah,
up,
you're
huh,
fired
Jim?
up.
You're
No,
all
no,
fired
I
up.
I brought
now.
up
Oh,
Blair
yeah.
Walsh. You got all
Oh,
sad.
there we go.
It's okay.
Here we go.
But who's your player?
All right. The guy there's 2 guys I think that are going to really ball out at the running back position. Saquon Barkley is going to absolutely run all over that terrible defense in Tampa Bay.
That's wrong, baby.
But David Johnson has gone back-to-back weeks with 100 total yards, and he is going to ball out versus the Raiders.
I don't know if anybody just heard this, but Tanya whispered Saquon Barkley, the best running back. So apparently the Giants have the best receiver in the league, the best running back in the league, but they got 1 win.
2.
2 wins. Something like so what's going on?
I meant to bring this up.
Oh.
And it's going to be another, to you, a hot take. To me, it's not that hot. The Giants, they may be very bad record-wise. They are very close to being a dominant force in this league.
Oh my, I can't even stay here. You can't be serious.
I am serious. They are very close. They are.
They had 3 wins last year. They had 2 wins this year. You put both of their wins in the last 2 seasons, they're still not making the playoffs.
You want something else to freak out about?
I want
They're
something.
a mobile quarterback away from being 13-3 and winning the division.
Oh my God! So you're telling me I give them a Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, they're winning.
Not
13.
Russell Wilson. Although he did have a good game.
Deshaun Watson, they're winning 13 games.
Absolutely.
No doubt in your mind.
No.
But what do you think?
Can I talk about this? Deshaun Watson goes to a team like the New York Giants. They're a playoff team.
13 wins.
3?
Though.
No, that's ridiculous. Probably 10-6. They're a wild card team. They ain't even winning the division this year, even with Deshaun. Skins probably still would win the division.
Tyler, what do you think about that?
Oh, we heard he's 13-3.
I think if Dak
coming.
can go 13-3, a blind squirrel can go 13-3. So I obviously think
You know how
Deshaun
it is. Even a
Watson-
blind squirrel finds them out every once in a while.
Yeah, that is
Dak
Dak
hasn't
Prescott,
found
his
it
rookie
recently.
season.
Yeah.
He hasn't found a freaking nut since his rookie season.
All right, so enough about that. Let's talk about some of the spreads this weekend. Bo Tyner, is there a game that you'd take the spread against?
Now, if I was a gambling man, and I am, I like the Steelers this week against the Jaguars. I don't trust the Jaguars. I have negative faith in Blake Bortles. Not zero faith, negative faith. The Steelers are 5-point favorites. And I know some websites let you bump it down to 4, and I think that is the lock of the week. That Big Ben has been balling. James Conner, as you said, has been balling. I don't think there's any doubt that they win by at least 4 or 5 points.
That Jags defense is terrible now, too.
Absolutely.
Not even
Bo,
close.
is there a game you're looking at?
I'm going to go over to college football scene, right?
All right.
West Virginia on the road against Oklahoma State. Yeah, maybe on the road. Oklahoma State played Oklahoma pretty tough.
Yeah.
You know, not a bad football team. But West Virginia is in must-win mode. -4.5? Easy money. West Virginia's going to win that game by 2 touchdowns.
2.
Calling it now.
So
2.
the spread's at 4.5.
Yep.
And they're going to win by 2 touchdowns. So that's a lock of the week for you.
I think it is.
What's your other game?
You know, same college football scene. Boston College plays Florida State. Florida State, from the beginning, is the worst football team I've seen all year.
Worse than
Terrible.
Louisville.
Oh, God, that is a toss-up. I mean, they beat Louisville by a bunch, but Louisville is... I don't know.
UConn's pretty bad.
Okay. Now we're getting to teams that used to be FCS schools.
All right, so
let's
what's
calm
the
down
spread?
a little,
What's
all
the spread?
It's 1.5 in favor of BC.
All right.
And I think they win, so that's pretty much a lock for me.
I got a college game. And it shouldn't hurt you. Because you know it's going to be a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame's favored by 10 against Syracuse. I like Syracuse to cover the points. I don't think they're winning this game.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame's going undefeated this season.
Much
Syracuse is
much
not
love
losing
there.
by 10 points.
No, I agree.
Syracuse
I
is
think this is going to be a
covering
one-touchdown game or a field goal game. I think this is a one-possession game, and I think it could be whoever has the ball last is going to win the game. But what do you think?
Is Ian Book playing this week?
He is. He's going to start.
Notre Dame by 21. Wow. Notre Dame by 21. Book it now. 10-point spread? Come on, boys. You're talking about Syracuse right now. Syracuse! Why are we...
Now, Bo, you're high on Clemson, right?
Wait. Before you even start that argument, Trevor Lawrence, my guy, Trevor Lawrence, went down with an injury. They had a third-string quarterback who hadn't seen reps all year because...
Now, you're a big man of the next man up.
Right, no, but
next man
he didn't
up,
have
Bo.
any time.
Bo, next man up. No.
Kelly Bryant just shipped out.
The Clemson won by 5 points on the last, 40-second left touchdown. And you're telling me Notre Dame's going to go out.
With a third-string
Notre Dame's
quarterback.
going to go out and beat Syracuse by 21 points. I love Notre Dame, but it ain't going to be that big of a blow. So basically you're saying Notre Dame's going to go kick the crap out of Clemson too.
No. Hell no. No.
We'll get that
No.
another point.
You're just getting ridiculous with it. Third-string quarterback for Clemson still beat Syracuse. That's my point.
So you really, truly believe in what you're saying that Syracuse is going to lose to Notre Dame by 21 points?
What? Maybe not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. But it's still a big win. 2 touchdowns at least.
At least 2 touchdowns.
At least 2 touchdowns.
Tyner, what do you think about that?
I don't have words. To quote Stephen A. Smith, that is blasphemous. 21 points? Oh, no.
Oh, man, that was crazy. Now, we might have just heard the hottest take of the year from Bo. But, Tyner, give me something, a bold statement, something you somewhat believe in that could happen this weekend or sometime this year. Give it to me.
Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. The New York Football Giants, if they run the table, they are winning the division. And like I said, if they are running the table, they are winning the division.
Bo has just stuck his head inside his shirt, laughing because he can't even believe what he just heard.
You want me to get more ridiculous?
I don't know if you can, sir.
Yeah, that was...
Alabama
unbelievable.
plays the Citadel today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. They're coming off a big win over Samford.
Oh my God.
Hey.
Oh my
42
God.
to 27.
He got more ridiculous. He actually did
They
it.
have won 3 of their last 4. No, I can't do it. Alabama by 100.
But Bo, what do you think about the Giants running the table?
I mean, hold up. Give me a sec, Chip, to look up the Giants' schedule, will you?
It's a bunch of wins. That's all I see.
Oh my, Tyner, you really believe in it though? You think they can run the table?
Well, we start with the Bucks this week. It's a
Okay.
good start.
All right, here. Let's logically talk this one through, right? They could beat the Bucks, so they're 3-7.
Okay.
On the road against the Eagles?
Hey, you got to win division games at some point. You're
But,
not going to win a division without beating them.
Okay, so we'll give it a tough game. At home against the Bears.
You hate the Bears. You think they're
I
bad.
hate
You think
the
they're
Bears.
bad.
I gave the Bears this win. But man, would I be thrilled to see them lose this one.
Look at that.
So I'll give Tyner that 4th win.
And if we're going to win, we have, like I said, we got to
The
run the table.
Redskins
We got to beat them.
on the road. Your division games are on the road.
Alex Smith.
Game
Game
manager. Game manager.
So Tyner, let me ask
But
you.
Titans at home?
You
Colts on the road?
You've won 2
Home
games.
for the division.
2 games, and we're going into week 10. What makes you think you're going to... Week 11. What makes you think you're going to win the next 7 games?
CJ, sometimes you just get this feeling or you have a dream. Lots of people have dreams. None dream bigger than me. I had a dream that we make the playoffs. I had a dream that we win the Super Bowl.
But that was over like week 3.
I saw OBJ say that he doesn't want to bring 1 or 2 championships. He wants to win it every year. He said, we're going to win out and run the table and head to the playoffs. I believe in my man OBJ. If he says we're going to ball out, we're going to ball out. Get your capes on. Superman's coming in.
All right, Bo, what is your statement? Because I should have had you gone first. There's no way it can be worse than what Tyler just said.
I don't think it can. I mean, I was just going to talk about how I think Jimmy Butler leaving the Timberwolves, the Minnesota Timberwolves, is better for them. They are better off without him. And
They're a better basketball team.
They're a better team. And let me discuss this before you get all riled up. Jimmy Butler is a cancer to that team. Andrew Wiggins hated him. You could just see it.
No,
Hated
I
it.
agree with that part. But
So
I do.
no, time out. Chemistry is huge in basketball. Huge.
you know what's also huge? Points. Because without him, you can't win.
They just beat the Pelicans last night.
Get the
Or 2
Don't
nights
start
ago.
with me. Tyler, are the Timberwolves
Pelicans
a
are a
better
playoff
team?
team. Pelicans are a playoff
Are
team.
the Timberwolves better off without Jimmy Butler?
Better off as a basketball team this year, winning-wise? No. Better off in the future? Yes, because he wasn't going to re-sign in that place.
Right, but do you
I don't
think
blame him.
do you think
Minnesota.
without him they can win?
Yeah,
They can win
Minnesota's
games.
gross.
What's that?
Do you think without him they can win enough games to compete?
No.
I mean, he brought points to them. Come on.
But Jimmy Butler's a bum.
It's hot.
On the court or off the
That's
court?
a hot take itself.
Off the court.
So not on the court.
So what? He can score 30 points. He's still a bum. I don't want him on my team.
I'd love a team with someone who scores 30 points.
But he's a bum. So you have your pick of guys who average what he averages, and you're taking him.
No,
He
I'd
reminds
take
me
any
of
guy that can score 30
Carmelo
points.
Anthony, another bum.
Well, that's a whole nother subject.
That's we'll talk about that on Monday. Now, Tyler, is there anything that you're looking forward to or you want to just talk about coming up in sports?
Now, I heard some MVP talk out of you lately. Talking about Jared Goff has lately been the most valuable.
Well, I thought Todd Gurley was, but
that's true.
other people have said that Jared Goff is in the discussion.
That's fair. I'm ready to give Breeze the MVP right now.
Right now.
Right now.
All right, give it to me.
That dude is completing 77% of his passes. That dude has 21 touchdowns, too. Can you guess how many interceptions he has?
3.
1. He's thrown 1 interception in 9 games.
That's impressive.
You know what he's on pace for? 40 touchdowns, 2 picks.
And at that point, he would get my MVP.
He has gotten my MVP. Mahomes is great, and he is a stud. He's going to be even more of a baller. But here's my Super Bowl prediction for you. I'm going to give it to you right now. Saints over Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Saints over Chiefs.
It's not blasphemous. It's not a hot take. Drew Brees wins his second. A much-deserved second. Shout out Drew Brees. I do have to give some love to a loyal fan, Nick Bates. Shout out Texas Tech. You big ballin' down there. I know you are. I got one more take for you.
All right.
And it's not as blasphemous as you think some of mine have been. But it's still a little out there. You know I love the Big Baller brand. The Ball family. Very soon, LiAngelo Ball will be on a G League team.
LiAngelo Ball.
LiAngelo.
Wouldn't have played for my 3rd and 4th grade YMCA team back in the day that I coached.
Are you serious?
Hey, you want to know why?
Have you seen this man ball out?
I saw him get bailed out of prison.
That's not funny.
That's funny.
That's not funny.
But
We make mistakes.
what were we going to say?
I mean, I'm just gonna say, you want to know why you can't see Jello on a team?
Why?
Because you ain't real.
And
Real
you
sees
are.
real. That's what we are seeing.
Shout out Jello. G3.
You think Jello is going to make a G League team?
I think he's better than the guys on some G League.
Somebody's
teams.
going to give him a chance.
They need to forget about LeVar. Everyone's all caught up in the LeVar.
All right, Jello maybe can make a G League, but can he go to the league? Can he go to the NBA?
I think once he makes it to the G League,
He has a better
he can
chance
ball
to.
out. and I think he can get on a spot.
He has a better chance
And then
to make a roster.
It depends what he does in the NBA. If he has, a 10-day contract in the NBA someday, and he looks bad, that might be the only chance he gets. But he's a Ball. I have faith in the Ball family. He's going to get a chance. He's going to ball out.
All right, Tyner, Bo, thanks for joining me. And everybody have a safe drive to work. I hope everybody has a great Friday. The weekend's almost here and a lot to look forward to.